Your beloved and cherished restaurants might be in grave danger. The timeless establishments that have withstood the test of time are now confronting their most formidable challenges. Financial woes, shifting consumer preferences, inflation, and a sluggish recovery from the pandemic have pushed esteemed establishments like Burger King and Krispy Kreme to their limits. According to the National Restaurant Association, a substantial 50% of restaurants are anticipating a decline in their income this year, and the entire industry, valued at over $997 billion and employing more than 15.5 million Americans, is on the verge of collapse. In this video, we have curated a list of 10 prominent food chains teetering dangerously close to extinction. Is your favorite restaurant among them? Brace yourself and stay tuned to find out. Number 10. Red Lobster. The renowned seafood chain with an impressive global footprint of 700 locations is currently grappling with significant challenges. These obstacles have unfortunately led to the closure of 8 long-standing restaurants in the last few months. Despite these closures only representing a mere 1% of their extensive presence, the impact may persist well into 2023. The chain's financial struggles can be attributed to rising costs, particularly concerning inflation and labor expenses. Shockingly, in the third quarter of 2022, Red Lobster reported losses amounting to a staggering $15.3 million, surpassing their projected loss of $10.4 million. The Thai Union Group, which took over Red Lobster in 2020, is determined to give the brand a much-needed makeover to stay ahead of their ever-changing consumer trends. However, the parent company has warned that closures will continue in some long-standing locations no longer viable for Red Lobster, with the utmost consideration for the overall well-being of the chain. Number 9. Applebee's. The beloved neighborhood grill and bar is facing an uphill battle as its presence in local communities continues to decline. Despite being known for its delectable appetizers, enticing meal deals, and refreshing cocktails, this casual dining chain has been struggling since 2017. Despite hopes of a revival in 2023, Applebee's is confronted with a harsh reality. Its performance during 2023 is further expected to decline compared to previous years. Moreover, the parent company, Dine Brands, projected a closure of 10 to 20 restaurants by the end of the year, surpassing the previous year's decline. Tony Moralio, Applebee's president, openly acknowledges the challenges at hand. These include elevated construction costs that impact the return on investment, adding to the chain's difficulties. To attract budget-conscious consumers, Applebee's has implemented various promotional deals. For instance, they've introduced the tantalizing option of adding double crunch shrimp to steak entrees for $1 and reintroduced the themed cocktails called Saintly Sips. However, despite these efforts, the closure of brands remains a prominent challenge on Applebee's menu of concerns. Number 8. Quiznos. Once a thriving sandwich chain, the company has experienced a dramatic decline over the past 15 years. The number of Quiznos locations in the U.S. has shrunk dramatically, dwindling to a mere 164 by the end of 2022. This is in stark contrast to its peak of 5,000 outlets, representing a staggering reduction of 94% in just over a decade. Financially, Quiznos has faced significant challenges. The chain's system-wide sales, which once reached a high of $1.9 billion in 2007, have plummeted to less than $100 million annually in recent years. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic only worsened their struggles, leading to a substantial 22.5% decline in sales. The collapse of Quiznos can be attributed to a combination of factors: dissatisfied franchisees, questionable business strategies, and a multitude of lawsuits have played a substantial role in the company's downfall. Ill-advised commercial decisions further compounded their troubles, ultimately sealing Quiznos' fate as a notable tale of restaurant failure in the annals of the nation's history. Number 7. Subway. In recent years, Subway has been grappling with a series of closures across the United States. Several factors contribute to this decline, including excessive expansion, outdated operations and decor, a stagnant menu, and the impact of their iconic $5 footlong deals on franchisees' profitability. Despite their efforts to revitalize the brand under the leadership of Chief Executive John Chidsey in 2021, which involved introducing a refreshed menu and launching attention-grabbing advertising campaigns featuring A-list celebrities, achieving the desired results may require several years. By the end of 2022, Subway's presence in the U.S. dwindled to 20,576 shops, a significant decrease from the 26,772 locations it boasted in 2016. This means that one of every 4 branches closed in the last 6 years. This footprint reduction reflects the challenges the brand has faced in navigating a changing market and meeting evolving consumer demands. The company's journey to regain its former glory and overcome the hurdles of overexpansion and outdated strategies is still a work in progress. Number 6. Denny's. Once boasting over 1,600 locations across the United States in 2017, Denny's experienced a decline in its restaurant count. By 2022, according to Statutsa, the chain was left with only 1,445 locations. Managing these establishments became increasingly challenging during the pandemic as staffing issues added further strain on the chain's operations. Not even a high-profile visit from Kanye West, who stopped by for breakfast after his son's soccer game, could reverse the chain's declining fortunes. Last August, a video went viral shedding light on the understaffed situation at a Denny's location. In the video, 2 members of the public had to lend a hand to a lone employee in the kitchen. This incident vividly highlighted the severity of the staffing shortage plaguing the chain. Furthermore, several Denny's locations faced closures for various reasons. Lawsuits in North and South Carolina led to the closure of certain outlets, while other locations in Connecticut, Portland, and New York were also forced to cease operations. Number 5. Steak 'n Shake. The beloved burger chain, primarily found in the Midwest, has been steadily shrinking its presence over the past few years, and this trend continues into 2023. The chain has faced numerous challenges, including customer dissatisfaction with service and quality, as well as financial instability that nearly led to bankruptcy in 2021. According to Biglari Holdings, the parent company of Steak 'n Shake, the number of restaurants has decreased from 534 in March 2022 to 493 as of March 31, 2023. This accounts for a reduction of 41 units, 7.6% of the company's total locations. However, when examining a longer time frame, the decline becomes even more significant. By the end of 2018, Steak 'n Shake had a total of 626 locations, indicating a loss of over 130 restaurants in less than 5 years. Number 4. Buffalo Wild Wings. Despite its wide popularity, this chicken restaurant and sports bar has faced the unfortunate reality of multiple store closures. Disturbing statistics from Scrape Hero revealed that as of early March, the chain's impressive number of locations had dwindled to a disappointing 1,234. This marks a significant decrease from the 1,279 establishments it proudly boasted in November 2020. Tragically, the chain has been forced to shut down branches across different states, including Colorado, Illinois, Florida, and Virginia, within the past year alone. Adding to the chain's woes is a highly publicized and disheartening $9 million lawsuit. The legal battle was initiated by a dissatisfied customer who expressed deep disappointment upon discovering that the boneless wings on the menu were not, as they had assumed, authentic wings. This unexpected lawsuit has further tarnished the reputation of a once admired establishment, leaving a bitter taste in the mouths of loyal patrons. Number 3. Krispy Kreme. The iconic American donut company that has been tantalizing our taste buds for over 80 years is currently navigating a series of challenges. One of the main factors contributing to their financial struggles is the heightened competition within the fast food industry. With the rise of health-conscious consumers and the increasing popularity of specialty coffee shops, Krispy Kreme is facing a more crowded marketplace. According to The Sun, the company made a significant announcement in November 2022, signaling a strategic shift that involves the closure of several locations. Furthermore, there are plans to shutter additional stores in 2023. Rather than focusing on primarily expanding its franchise presence, Krispy Kreme is now directing its attention towards distributing fresh products to both franchises and grocery and convenience stores across the nation. This shift in strategy reflects their proactive efforts to adapt to the evolving market landscape and optimize their business model for continued success. Number 2. TGI Fridays. The legendary international restaurant chain, with a history rooted in the groovy 1960s, now hangs precariously on the brink of disappearing forever. In May 2020, distressing news emerged that the company would be forced to close around 20% of its 386 locations, as reported by Bloomberg. Unfortunately, the closures have continued unabated, with Massachusetts and Texas becoming the latest casualties, announcing the permanent shutdown of their TGI Fridays establishments within the past month alone. According to Scrape Hero, as of March 8th, a mere 289 TGI Fridays stores remain scattered across the United States. This somber reality casts a cloud of uncertainty over the future of this once vibrant culinary institution. Will TGI Fridays rise triumphantly from the ashes, or succumb to the relentless forces that have plagued the industry? Only time will tell the fate of this beloved establishment. Number 1. Burger King. In a heartbreaking blow to devoted fans of this beloved fast food chain, the company has announced its devastating plan to close an alarming number of restaurants. By the end of 2023, an astonishing 400 Burger King locations will cease operations, severely limiting access to customers' favorite burgers and meals. In fact, the impact is already evident, with 124 Burger King restaurants having already shuttered, signaling a rapid decline in the brand's once pervasive presence. With fewer than 7,000 remaining outlets across the United States, Burger King's once thriving empire is crumbling right before our eyes. The situation is further exacerbated by the bankruptcies filed by prominent Burger King franchises, including Tom's King, EYM King, and Meridian Restaurants Unlimited. These closures and bankruptcies signify a dire state of affairs for the iconic fast food chain. While the company's CEO, Joshua Kobza, attempted to downplay the severity of the situation by categorizing past closures as routine, the sheer scale of the impending shutdowns sends an unmistakable message. Burger King is facing a crisis that could have long-lasting repercussions. As customers mourn the loss of their beloved Burger King locations, the focus shifts to the remaining franchise operators who are expected to weather the storm. The road ahead looks bleak as Burger King struggles to find a path to recover amidst this wave of closures and uncertainties. The restaurant industry is grappling with unprecedented challenges, and the repercussions are reverberating throughout the business landscape. With closures becoming an unfortunate reality for many establishments, the survival of iconic food chains hangs precariously in the balance. Will these beloved culinary havens emerge triumphant, revitalizing themselves and reclaiming their former glory? Or are we witnessing the dawn of a new era, where the way we dine undergoes a transformative shift? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.